episode on my YouTube channel. I wanted to talk today about my coaching journey and just sort of how it began. The reason why I decided that today's episode would be on this subject is because this week I received a DM from somebody who I've never met before, and she was just so curious as to how I started sharing on social media my journey and my business on social media, and how did it begin. And I just found that such an interesting question that it just really made me start thinking about the sort of beginnings of my journey. And I thought, why not share that on this platform today, because I feel like it will be a good foundation to start some of the future conversations that I want to have on this page. So if we kind of rewind back to 2015, that's when I broke my leg in a car accident, and it was pretty intense. It really just shook me to my core in terms of what I deemed reality to be. I started realizing a lot about my own mental health, but that was just the beginning of the journey. I had no idea about what I know now, so I just wanted to kind of put that out there. And if you want to find out more about what happened during that time where I broke my leg and how it all felt and all the surrounding things that happened and all the things that happened because of that, then check out my podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts called Mubaraka Speaks. You'll find the episode My Story 1 and 2 on there, which goes into more detail. But I guess from that point onwards, I was on a journey of self-discovery where I realized that the life that I thought that I had in my work situation, and having dedicated all my life and my time to work, this situation really just shook me out of my comfort zone completely. I had to rely on my parents after a really long time of being independent, and that really was a big struggle for me to kind of even come to terms with, because I guess in a way I was hyper independent, I was a workaholic, all the things. But from that time, what had occurred was obviously a change and a shift in my mindset, which led me to traveling the world and quitting my job to do that, and then coming back to work as a self-employed professional. And that's when I guess I realized that I wanted more from life, because I came back, I started locuming, and I was really enjoying the work that I was doing. I was working in such a cool place, in a cool part of London, working in an independent shop that was nothing like I'd ever worked in before. I was dealing a lot with the e-commerce side of things as well, which was really new for me, and it was such a fun experience. And I met some of the coolest people in that time, super creative people who were like DJs and artists and professionals in different areas, and it was just so fun to kind of step out of my usual crowd as well. I started also doing some freelance photography for a comedy show that my friend used to run. So that was really cool. I guess I got in touch with a new creative sort of side of me, and I guess it wasn't new, but it was just a different element of my creativity that I hadn't explored before. And that was super cool. Anyway, in that time, I think after about a year and a half, 2 years, I got married. And that's a whole nother story as well. But when I was married, I realized that there was something that was still missing from my life, and I didn't really know what it was or how to kind of figure out my future, what I wanted to do. And I just still felt there was so many pieces of my puzzle missing, and I hadn't really figured out how to fully be my authentic self. And in order to kind of get to the position where I knew that I had to seek out help and guidance. And it was really weird because I just sort of came across, actually, there's a whole chunk that I missed out here, but I started doing some other creative stuff where I went back into wanting to relaunch my makeup business. So I went abroad to Bali and I did a bunch of campaign sort of work and created like amazing concepts with, you know, my creative direction and with the mentor that I was working with at the time. And when I was there, actually, I ended up booking a yoga retreat with somebody who had not only been qualified as a yoga teacher. I was already into yoga at this point after breaking my leg, but she, with her partner, was also going to be sharing classes on meditation and manifestation. And I think at that point, meditation was such a curious thing for me. Like, I had no idea how to do it or what the whole concept was on a deeper level, and I wanted to study it. So I decided to go on this retreat. It was in Mykonos, and it was for, I think, a week, and it was amazing. I stayed at this hostel for like 2 days before I actually joined the retreat. The retreat was incredible, really amazing. And I met some really, really cool people there. Some friends that I'm still friends with today, and they're all doing such incredible things. If I like go and see their Instagram pages, they're all doing different things. One of them has their own skincare brand, which I use, which is Core Skincare. I will definitely share more about that when I talk about my skincare stuff. But another one is a freaking doing amazing with her 7-figure business, and I'm just so proud of everything she's achieved as well. Anyway, one of the girls that was on the retreat, we did our vision boards together, and she was a life coach that was also hosting retreats, but for women. And I found that really interesting. So I wanted to go on her retreat, but I couldn't at the time. But later on, I actually was listening to her podcast, and eventually I started working with her, and I went to one of her retreats. And I think when I did a VIP one day with her, which is basically where you do like a whole day, which is just focused on you and you focus on your dreams and goals, I found that so powerful. And her coaching was just incredible, and it really just made me so curious about the coaching world itself. She had already studied with the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, and her theme was very much about letting go of the hustle and the workaholic vibe, which is basically where I had been. She was teaching women how to eliminate the people pleasing aspects of themselves that hold them back from achieving freedom in their life, and you know, constantly feeling kind of stuck in their work, and always having to like report to bosses, and just always feeling like there was something holding them. And I really resonated with her concept and her story. And from then, I just really got curious. And honestly, working with her just sent me on a curiosity journey where for the next God knows how many years, I was just not only delving into my own self-development, but was so curious about coaching. And I was like, I want to do this. I think this is something that I'm really like passionate about. Is I want to be the person to be able to help other women come out of their, you know, spaces where they're confused and unable to kind of move forward with their lives for whatever reason, and really know that dreams are meant to be followed and chased, and you're meant to just keep going for them and never giving up. And I think from that point onwards, it just became this kind of, I want to say love story, but it has its ups and downs. But I fell in love with coaching. I started following every single coach that I came across for all the different things that they do. And I started realizing that this is the journey that I want to take. I want to be a coach myself. And at the time, I had no idea what kind of coaching I wanted to do. All I knew is that I wanted to help women, and I was super creative and super passionate about empowerment and authenticity and transformation. And eventually that's kind of where I've ended up, is recognizing that my quote unquote niche is just me. It's me being my authentic self. It's my personal transformation. It's being able to help others and hold space for others who also desire a transformation within themselves that will help them go from where they are to where they want to be. And along my journey. I've worked with so many coaches, so many professionals, including I still work with parenting coaches and coaches for my fitness and coaches for my business. And I think it's so important that once you decide what you're going to do with your life, that you go all in and that you just invest in bettering yourself. And that's basically kind of the beginning story of my own journey. And the reason why this video is kind of short and a bit monotonous is because I only have a short amount of time to record before my space runs out. But also, I just wanted to give you a little bit of an inspirational, I guess, foundation as to how my journey began, how it all kind of connected with my breaking leg and being really interested in yoga and self-development, and how it led me to eventually, visioning a coaching career for myself, and then just really going for it and doing everything in my power to do so. So stay tuned on this channel to learn more about the kind of coaching I do and how I can help you as well. But feel free in the meantime to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I will really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.